There is a geological paradox buried deep in the Amazon rainforest that modern science took 500 years to accept. A paradox that breaks every agricultural rule we are taught today. Look at those lush, green rainforests. You assume the soil beneath them must be incredibly fertile, right? Wrong. In reality, the natural soil of the Amazon, known as ferrosols, is some of the worst dirt on Earth. It is yellow, acidic, toxic with aluminum, and holds almost zero water. If you cut down the trees to farm, that land dies and turns into a wasteland in just 3 harvest cycles. So how? How did one of the largest civilizations in human history survive here for millennia without chemical fertilizers, without plows, and without supermarkets? The answer begins with an accusation. In 1542, Spanish explorer Francisco de Orellana sailed down the Amazon River. When he returned to Europe, he reported the impossible. He spoke of bustling cities, massive farming networks feeding millions of people. He described a thriving empire right in the middle of the jungle. But when other explorers returned a century later, they found nothing. No cities, no farms, only dense jungle and scattered tribes. They called Orellana a liar. They said he hallucinated from tropical fever, because, according to Western logic, no one can build a civilization on barren yellow clay. Orellana was not lying. He simply witnessed a biotechnology that was centuries ahead of its time. In the 20th century, when archaeologists started digging beneath the rotting forest floor, they found something that did not belong in nature. Scattered amidst the ocean of useless yellow clay were patches of soil as black as night, running up to 2 meters deep. It was loose, it was moist, and it smelled of life. The locals called it Terra Preta do Indio, black earth of the Indian. When scientists took samples to the lab, the radiocarbon dating results shocked them. These soil patches were over 2,500 years old. But even more terrifying than its age was its vitality. After 25 centuries of abandonment, enduring the brutal leaching of tropical rains, this soil is still 3 times more fertile than the best modern farmland. It contains double the nitrogen and phosphorus, 20 times the calcium, and most importantly, it does not die. Brazilian farmers today mine this soil to sell as premium potting mix, and they discovered something strange. If they leave a layer of just 20 centimeters at the bottom, the black soil will slowly grow back. You heard that right. The soil regenerates itself, like a living organism. The ancient Amazonians did not just know how to grow plants, they knew how to grow soil. They created a perpetual agricultural system, implanting a biological self-operating mechanism into the earth that has run without human intervention for 2,000 years. While we, modern humans, are killing our topsoil with chemicals and heavy tillage, turning fertile land into dust bowls in mere decades, this ancient technology still stands, defying time. How did they do it? What is the secret ingredient that turns dead clay into immortal black gold? It is not magic. It is likely sitting in your kitchen right now, but you are using it wrong. If you want the exact recipe to turn your garden into an eternal legacy like Terra Preta, comment the number 7 down below. The algorithm needs to know you care about this truth before we unlock the next vault. Do not let this knowledge be buried again. Hit like, comment 7, and we will enter the science. The secret ingredient is charcoal. But stop. Before you go dumping a bag of Kingsford briquettes into your vegetable patch, you need to understand why that would kill your garden instantly. The Amazonians were not burning wood to make ash. They were practicing a specific chemistry called pyrolysis. They burned organic matter, wood, bones, manure, in a low-oxygen environment. The result was not ash. It was biochar. To the naked eye, a piece of biochar looks like a dead black lump, but under an electron microscope, it looks like a skyscraper. It is a rigid carbon skeleton, a honeycomb of billions of microscopic pores. And this structure is the key to the impossible. Here is the statistic that your brain will struggle to comprehend. If you take just 1 single gram of biochar, a piece the size of a pencil eraser, and unfold all those microscopic pores flat, the surface area would cover 2 tennis courts. Think about that. 1 handful of this material offers an acreage of surface area equal to a football field. Why does surface area matter? Because in the soil ecosystem, surface area is real estate. This carbon skeleton acts like a coral reef in the ocean. It does not provide the food itself, it provides the housing. In normal soil, when it rains, water flushes nutrients away. Nitrogen and potassium wash out of the root zone and disappear into the groundwater. That is called leaching. It is why you have to keep fertilizing. But biochar changes the physics. Those billions of pores act like a magnet. Through a process called adsorption, the electric charge of the carbon holds onto nutrients and water molecules. It traps them. When a rainstorm hits, the biochar absorbs the water. When a drought hits 2 weeks later, it releases it back to the plant roots. It is a battery, a biological battery that charges up when resources are abundant and discharges when they are scarce. But the housing is not for the water, it is for the workforce. Bacteria and fungi move into those carbon condos. They find protection from predators and the sun. A single cubic centimeter of Terra Preta can house billions of beneficial microbes. The Amazonians did not just add carbon, they built a fortress for the soil web. Once you put this structure in the ground, it does not decompose. It is pure, stable carbon. It stays there for 1,000 years, hosting life, holding water, and defying the laws of decay. So we have a material that saves water, saves fertilizer, and lasts forever. Which leads to the uncomfortable question. If this technology is 2,000 years old and scientifically proven, why does every garden center in America sell you temporary fertilizer instead of permanent biochar? The answer is not scientific. It is economic. In the early 20th century, a German chemist named Fritz Haber changed the world. He discovered how to pull nitrogen from the air and turn it into synthetic fertilizer. It was a miracle. It allowed humanity to grow food faster than ever before, but it came with a business model that enslaved modern agriculture. Synthetic fertilizer is fast food. It gives plants a massive spike of energy, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, NPK. The plants grow big and fast, but just like a sugar rush, it crashes. The nutrients are water-soluble. The plants drink what they can, and the rest washes away. By the end of the season, the soil is empty, dead. So the next spring, you have to go back to the store. You have to buy the bag again. This is the perfect recurring revenue model. Big agriculture does not sell you soil fertility. They rent it to you. They want you to be a subscriber to their chemicals. Terra Preta breaks this business model. The Amazonian system is not fast food. It is a kitchen. It does not just feed the plant once. It builds the capacity of the soil to feed plants forever. If you amend your soil with biochar properly, the fertility increases over time. As the microbial colony grows in those carbon condos, the soil gets better year after year without you spending another dime. You move from renting fertility to owning it. Do you think a $200 billion fertilizer industry wants to sell you a product that you only buy once? Do you think they want you to know that the secret to record-breaking yields isn't in a blue chemical bottle, but in a method used by primitive tribes 2 millennia ago? They labeled Terra Preta an archaeological curiosity. They ignored it in textbooks. They pushed the narrative that soil is just a dead sponge to hold up plants while you pour chemicals over them. But the soil is not dead. It was murdered, and we are about to learn how to resurrect it. However, there is a catch, a dangerous one. If you just go out, burn some wood, and bury the charcoal in your garden, you will make a catastrophic mistake. Most people who try to rediscover this secret fail in the first month. They turn their garden yellow and kill their crops because they missed the most critical step in the Amazonian recipe. The difference between a dead garden and an immortal one lies in what you do before you bury the charcoal. This is where 90% of modern gardeners get it wrong. Raw charcoal is hydrophobic and chemically empty. Remember, it is a magnet. If you bury raw, dry charcoal directly into your soil, it will do its job too well. It will suck every drop of water and every ounce of nitrogen out of your soil to fill its own empty pores. It will steal the food from your plants. Your crops will turn yellow and starve. This is called nitrogen drawdown, and it is why people claim biochar doesn't work. The Amazonians knew this. They never buried raw charcoal. They charged it first. Here is the step-by-step protocol to creating Terra Preta, adapted for the modern homestead. Step 1. The structure. Pyrolysis. You need woody biomass. Hardwood is best. You burn it in a barrel or a trench, but you must quench the fire before it turns to white ash. You want black, crunching chunks. If it crumbles into dust, you went too far. You want chunks the size of gravel. This preserves the condos for the bacteria. Step 2. The charge, inoculation. This is the secret. You have to fill the hotel before you open the doors. You need to saturate that charcoal with nutrients and biology. The Amazonians used broken pottery shards, fish bones, and human waste. You can use something safer, but equally potent. Soak your charcoal in a mixture of compost tea, liquid kelp, or chicken manure slurry. Let it sit. Let it absorb. The charcoal will drink up that liquid nutrient like a sponge. It will turn from a dry magnet into a loaded battery. Wait at least 2 weeks. You want the charcoal to be heavy, wet, and teeming with microbial life. Step 3. The union. Now, you mix it into your soil. You don't need to replace your dirt. You only need about 10% biochar by volume in the top 6 inches of soil. That is the tipping point. Once that charged carbon hits the earth, it becomes a permanent reef. The fungi hyphae will latch onto it. The roots will wrap around it. You have just installed a permanent nutrient bank in your backyard. You will notice the difference in the first drought. Your neighbor's corn will wilt. Yours will stand tall, drinking from the reservoirs stored inside the carbon skeleton. But the benefit goes beyond your tomatoes. By following this recipe, you are doing something that politicians and scientists have been arguing about for decades. You are doing something that might actually save us. We talk about carbon footprints. We talk about the dangers of carbon in the atmosphere warming the planet. But carbon is not the enemy. Carbon is the building block of life. The problem is not carbon. The problem is that it is in the wrong place. It is supposed to be in the soil. We dug it up, burned it, and put it in the sky. Terra Preta is the technology of putting it back. When you bury biochar, you are taking carbon out of the atmospheric cycle and locking it in the earth for 1,000 years. This is called carbon sequestration. If every farmer and gardener practiced this Amazonian method, we could offset a massive percentage of global human emissions, while simultaneously ending world hunger. The Amazonians did not leave behind giant stone pyramids or gold statues. They left behind soil. They left behind a legacy that is still feeding people 500 years after their civilization collapsed. That is the ultimate technology. Technology is not a microchip that goes obsolete in 2 years. Technology is a system that works better the longer you ignore it. So, you have a choice this spring. You can go to the store, buy the blue bag, rent your fertility, and feed the system that is draining our earth. Or, you can light a fire. You can make charcoal. You can build a reef in your garden that will feed your children, and their children, and their children. The soil is waiting. The recipe is yours. The lost vault of the Amazon is just one of thousands of survival technologies that have been erased from our history books. We are digging them up, one by one. If you believe that the old ways hold the key to the future, you are in the right place. Click that subscribe button and turn on the bell. We are currently researching a forgotten route from the Andes that allows you to harvest in the snow. You do not want to miss what opens next. Plant the future.